have to play the game. Just not like GS. GS, anything can come from anywhere. But sociology is not like that. Our syllabus is fixed within the boundaries. Questions will happen within that boundaries only. Okay. So since it is easy and you have a limited syllabus, what happens? You can complete it fastly. If we take class regularly, we can complete it in 3 months. If we take only weekend and only, then we can complete in 4.5 months. So if you complete fastly, what is the advantage? You can revise multiple times. You can write many tests, right? That happens. So since these three are happening every year, out of top 100 ranks, minimum 20 to 25 people are from sociology optional only. Why is it happening? Almost 25% in the top 100, 25% is from sociology students only. These are the reasons. Simple, we can complete it fast, you can revise many times, you can give as many test series as possible. You can write many times, your answer writing thing also improves. So finally you can get good marks. So if you do proper hard work, 300 marks, how many marks is optional for? 500. You can get easily 300. 270 pakka. 270 to 300 is considered a very good score in optional. Do you agree? Don't expect, it's not like in school you get 90%, it doesn't happen. Okay. So 270 to 300 is a very good score in optional. If you can get it, then you are in the race. If you get 270 or 300, definitely you will get some, definitely you will be IAS or IPS, that is for sure. Very easy. And you can link up. The thing is that if I say an example, if I say a theory, you can link with what is happening in the society. I will tell you now, I will just prove. Okay. So this is one of the reasons you can take sociology. Every year 20 to 25 people are from sociology in the top 100. Maybe you are one of them next. Then what is the other advantage? As I said, you will get a very good viewpoint. Once you become an IAS or IPS officer, when you deal with people, when you are trying to solve, what are you expected to do when you become an IAS, IPS? Okay, service. You are expected to solve problems, social problems in the society. So once you know that background, theoretical background, then that you can apply that knowledge in solving problems, right? Now, once you read this paper, it will also help in GS1. First paper, there is a concept called society, that is covered. Agreed? Now, you can write good essays. I said when you write essays, what happens? You have to quote some things, proverbs, some sayings. You will get a hell lot of sayings in sociology. Please. Okay. So you can use these sayings and understanding in sociology. So you can write a better essay also, please. Yeah, no issues. Since it is raining, it's so you have all this, and overall you can become a good human being, better human being. Suppose you can say that, suppose when you become an IAS officer, let us say that some NGO comes for your help, some organization comes for your help. You can understand why they are behaving the way they are behaving. Why actually we form unions? SC/STs, they have some union. Reddys, they will have some unions. You have political parties. Okay, everywhere you find unions. Why do we form unions? Power. To get their things done. Good, very good. So you will understand when you are in the chair, you will understand why this organization, what do they want, why are they behaving the way they are behaving. All that you get a very good idea if you know the sociology. If you have that sociology background, you will know why they are behaving the way they are behaving. Okay, you will understand about power, you will understand how leaders try to reach out to the people, you will study everything in deep. So when all these things are there in your brain, when you become an IAS officer, it helps you to solve problems, to study the society, to deal with the society. One, suppose if you don't become an IAS officer, let us say, you become some not others, you chose another profession, let us say, then you will understand all these things, no? So there is one person called Tao, he is a Chinese, okay. What he says is, what is the biggest pleasure in the life? According to Tao, if I ask you what is the biggest pleasure, you may say food, you may say drugs, anything, meditation, ecstasy, whatever. But Tao says, learn something, apply it, that is the biggest pleasure. So you are learning so many things here, you can start applying in your life. That will. Now we will study how cults are in sociology, for example. What is cult? The biggest cult hit of the year. What is that? Biggest cult hit of the year, at least what they say. Baby, they are saying it is the biggest cult hit of the year. What is this cult? What is this cult? Cult leader, cult classics, they say, no? So if you become a cult leader, what happens? There will be 100, 200 people around you, they will do whatever you want to do. Recently, around 3 or 4 months back, there was a news in the newspaper. Somewhere in Africa, a pastor, father pastor, asked his 400 disciples to commit suicide, and they committed suicide. Do you think that pastor is great or waste fellow? Both, you can say both. He is asking 400 people to do something and 400 people obeyed him. Is that not power? But anyways, that is great. But in a different sense, he took them to a bad end. Okay, that is a bad thing. But see, if someone is asking you to do something and you are doing it, that is power, right? Is that not power? Yeah, you have many facets of power. Okay, you have many facets of power. But cult, how many of you know Osho? Rajneesh Osho. There is a documentary in Netflix, don't watch, but again, a very interesting documentary. This fellow, what he did, he read many books, then he started teaching his knowledge. Obviously, when he starts teaching, what happens? People got attracted to him, and the level to which he grew, thousands of followers, even film stars were his followers. He said, yeah, he realized that fine day, he realized that India is not a good place to me. He went to US. Okay. He purchased around 1 lakh acres. How did he get that money? I have followers, no? You will do whatever I will tell you to do. Okay. He purchased a ranch, very big ranch, and he started a new city in US. It is called Rajneeshpuram. It's called. Have you ever thought, is that not power? You starting a new city, imagine, go to US or go to India, you buy a place and start a city. It's called Rajneeshpuram. However, there were controversies and he was thrown back to India and he died. But he was a very famous guru. Many of the film stars were his followers. Now let us take Sadhguru. I think you know Sadhguru. Sadhguru is a great fan of Osho. Sadhguru learnt many things from Osho. So I am talking about Osho because you don't know now. Anyway, see, because he is no more. So you know Sadhguru. Now Sadhguru's teacher is Osho, actually. Okay, if you hear to his interviews, Sadhguru says that I am influenced by Osho. But see, let's talk about Sadhguru. What is he? He built a Adi Yogi, he teaches you meditation, he gives you talks on the YouTube, and he is almost as legend. Many people follow him. That is cult leader. How do you go there? you study in sociology. So maybe if not IAS, IPS, you can become a cult leader like Sadhguru. You learn many things about work, about marriage. Society there is marriage. We study about divorce. We study about your work. We study about countries. We study about various social problems, feminism. We study everything in this. So you also become a better human being because you understand the problems. Instead of complaining, you will start seeing why they are behaving the way they are behaving. So you become a better human being also. These are all the advantages. Easy to understand, syllabus is well structured, so you can complete your syllabus very fastly and start revising it multiple times. You can write multiple test series. It's all about answer writing. So that is the reason every year out of the top 100 students you have 20 to 25 people compulsory. You become a good, it helps you in GS1. Yeah, compared to other optionals, GS1 or GS coverage is less in sociology. That is the, I will tell you positive side, I will tell you the negative side. I mean not exactly negative side, comparatively. If you study geography as an optional, your entire geography is taken care of in GS, but it is not like that. Only a very simple part of your GS is covered, but this helps you. You can write very good essays. Ultimately, you can become a good officer and a good human being. So this is why you can take sociology. Now let me tell you my story. Okay, when I gave my first attempt in 2014, my optional was PubAd. Okay, because at that time I don't know what to choose, how to choose. I chose PubAd because not that I am against PubAd or any other subject. I chose PubAd because that was giving more marks. Ultimately, it comes down to marks. I suppose there are two friends. One got more marks, she got 50 marks less. She will become an IAS, she will become an IPS. At the end of the day, IPS has to salute IAS. So you stayed in the same hostel, you stayed in the same room, you attended the same classes, but she got 30-40 marks less and the other got 30-40 marks more, and one will become an IAS, the other will become IPS. It will be affecting you. Why should I salute my own roommate, classmate? That happens, right? So it comes down to marks. We are not here to become scientists, we are here to clear the exam, get marks, right? So I took PubAd because at that time PubAd was the hot cake. Everybody used to take PubAd because everyone was getting good marks. So I took PubAd, but I didn't enjoy the subject. I joined a reputed institute, so called, but that maja ana chahiye na. When you read something, you should get maza. Why do we read novels? You get some kick. Why do you watch movies? That maza should come in the subject, otherwise waste. That is why I say every time in my class I say enjoy. If there is no enjoyment in the subject, in the preparation, then don't prepare, it is waste of time. You should enjoy that. So I was not getting that in PubAd, but I had no choice, I have to continue with it. Okay, I gave my first attempt and I lost because I got less marks in PubAd. I got around 18 marks less than the cutoff. Had I chosen something like sociology or any interesting subject, I could have cleared, because I got, of all the subjects, I got less marks in PubAd only. The reason we do self-analysis, right, after post-mortem, because it was of PubAd. I got less marks in PubAd because I didn't enjoy PubAd. So I am just advising you as a friend that choose any optional, but it should interest you. There should be a good teacher, but good teacher is not enough, because I was taught by one of the famous PubAd teachers in Hyderabad or entire Telangana. Good teacher is not enough. You should have interest in the subject. If you don't have interest, then no use. You cannot go, because you have to travel around 2 to 3 years with the subject. So you should have interest, that is for sure. Number 3, marks. Yeah, you get marks, it is easy to understand. So, that can be taken care of. PubAd is bit, I am not against PubAd, because there are some people who enjoy PubAd. I was not the PubAd guy, but I took PubAd and I lost the game. So, now I joined some organization, I do not want to name that organization. Then I went to Bangladesh. Okay. I was in Bangladesh.
So why don't you give any other attempts?
Yeah, after my first attempt, I was so down, but I said no, when you do your best, some door will open. If some door is closed, some door will open. Okay. And I lost my first attempt, and along with that, I will tell you of, later what happened to my life. Okay. I went very deep into the depression, okay, because some other factor also happened in my life. Then I was lost. Second attempt, I did not give my attempt in 2015, because I was so lost in my life, I did not give my second attempt also. Okay. The third attempt, by that second attempt, when I was in the deep web depression kind, a door opened in the form of Voltaire, Romeo, Akbar, Voltaire. A door opened in that form. Okay. Since I made it to interview, they called me for an interview and I was selected in Romeo, Akbar, Voltaire. This is a company. Okay. You know this company? I will tell you about that company later. Okay. So, it is a Romeo, Akbar, Voltaire company. So, I got selected, and as a part of my, I went to Bangladesh. Okay. Now, I was having lot of time. So, one day I went to meet a army person in Bangladesh army. When I went, he was reading a book on sociology. I thought, then we had a discussion on that book. He was reading a book and he was a Hindu. Okay. So, he asked me a question. Why do you think Buddha, you know all Buddha, Siddhartha, Buddha, he got enlightened after some 40-45 days of meditation under a peepal tree? At which place? It was at Sarnath. Then where did, it was not at Sarnath, it was at Bodh, Gaya. It was a place called Gaya. In Gaya he got enlightenment. But where did he give his first sermon? Sarnath. Then he asked me, why do you think Buddha could have given his first teaching in Gaya only, but why didn't he give that sermon? He gave that sermon at Sarnath. Do you know why? He asked. No sir, I don't know. Then he was reading that book and he said, Buddha is a very intelligent person, because Sarnath was, if you observe the map, Sarnath was at the junction of 4 roads, Chaurasta, north south highway, east west highway. It was at the junction. So, Gaya was somewhere here. So, if he starts teaching or preaching, will it reach all sides from here, or will it reach all sides from here? Which is the best place? Why that is the best place? Because people from south, north will come, south will come, everybody will come. So, obviously there could be a hotel, there could be some, and if you start teaching, they may get attracted to you. So, he never taught in Gaya, he started teaching in Sarnath. There was a reason to it. It never struck to me. He was reading that book, answer to that question was there in that book, and he explained that point from that book. Then I got interest in sociology. That was how my love towards sociology started. Then I purchased that book. From that book I learnt about a concept called social psychology. What is this? Social psychology. Society, you have your own psychology, everybody is psychologically different, but society, a group also has a psychology. That is how we study how the groups behave. This is being used in marketing, advertisements. Do you all watch movies? Do you all watch TV? Do you all watch YouTube? YouTube is for free. Then how YouTube is surviving? You are not paying anything to YouTube. How YouTube is surviving? It's not surviving, it is making huge profits. How? Meanwhile, when you watch, after 5 minutes, 10 minutes, what will happen? Ad will come up, right? That is their revenue. Ad is the major revenue to YouTube. So, social psychology is being used in ad. How? Are companies not manipulating you? That is nothing but social psychology. They manipulate entire group. That is social psychology. From that book, I learnt about social psychology. It interested me a lot, how companies play with our minds. For example, in US there is a school, okay, private school, which was in loss, okay. Then somehow this news went to McDonald, KFC, McDonald. Then they went to school, this McD, and they went to school, that school, little school. And they said, we will give you millions of dollars. In return, what do they want? They said, we will have this boards, advertisement boards in the school about McD, KFC. So, do you think those companies are mad? Normal school, it's a normal school, not a big university, 1000 students max, but they want to put up advertisement boards in the school at various places, and for that they are ready to pay millions of dollars. What do you say about the company? Is it a good decision or a bad decision? Bad decision. 1000 people, not more than 1000 people in the school, young small children. For that you are paying millions of dollars. Is it good or bad? Why good? If I can make those 100 people my customers, they are customers for life, entire life. If I make you addicted for my KFC chicken at 7 years or 8 years of age, you will not stop until you die. You get addicted to it, and children are they get addicted very easily, very fastly, because they are like fresh cement. You can write anything on their minds, right? So that is the strategy they have used. PSYOPs. I said in my class, psychological operations, PSYOPs. So according to there is one Chinese thinker called Lao Tzu. He says, you should win a war without fighting the war. What does that mean? You are my enemy, we are having a battle, we may have a battle, but I should get an upper hand over your psychology before the war happens. And once I win over you before the war, your mind, then in the war definitely you will lose. Psychological operations. And you can apply this social psychology to Chinese, what Chinese are doing at our border. What Chinese do generally? They will never come to war with India. What they will do? Sometimes they will come, they will create a problem, they will go back. This is called salami slicing. It is called salami slicing. So these are all interesting things that they do, social psychology. They want to instill fear into the Indian army. But anyhow, we realized it. Now we are standing very strong to them. That is a different issue. But psychology, in military also you follow this. In intelligence operations also you follow psychology, social psychology. So from that sociology book, I learned this, and after learning this, I have read around 60 to 70 social psychology books. Just like that. Just like that. How people will listen to me? Because I was in Bangladesh, I want to do something. How I should influence you, or how I should persuade others, how I should win over someone, because being an Indian, I want to win over some Bangladeshi, and that Bangladeshi should work for me. He should be under my complete control. That is how I'll be successful in this company. This company is all about that. You should win over people. These books taught me. Then I started falling in love with sociology, because I am actually a science graduate. Anthropology is very easy to me, but I never chose to teach anthro. I chose sociology because I love it. And you should also choose sociology only if you love it. I'll give you some tip of the iceberg, then you can start doing. How people control your brains. Why Mahesh Babu should be shown in thumbs up ad, or Vijay Deverakonda should be shown in that ad? Are companies fools, or are they thinking? They are thinking. That is nothing but they are thinking how to make you buy that thumbs up or Coca-Cola, whatever it is. They are thinking not about the individual, they are thinking about a society or a group of people, how to target those people. That is social psychology. That is a part of your sociology. Very interesting. And I will tell you many hundreds of examples from the history, how people have won battles using social psychology. How psychology, not individual psychology, social psychology. Hundreds of examples are there. I will give you books, you can read after your exam, and there are thousands of examples how these people have done it. I will tell you all small stories. I will make you very interesting. Okay. So, these are some of the reasons. That is my background, though I did not give exam later once I joined this. I did not give any further attempts because I started loving this job. Once you already found your love, then there is no need to search for another, right? So, that is the reason I did not go to the exam again. Even though I was having attempts, I gave up because I found what I wanted to do in my life. Okay, again that is a concept, again you can discuss in sociology. There is a chapter called work. What work should you do? We can discuss in that. Okay, everything in your life we can cover under sociology. Okay. That is how you should take, at least I say you should take sociology, because it is a fascinating world. Again, it is a fascinating world to me. If you feel so, then you should. If you do not feel so, then you should not. That is one thing. Okay. The next thing, how are we going to study? I am saying you, if you concentrate it very well, 270 is very easy and you can go till 300 marks. If you say if you do what I say very honestly, you can. It is very easy. Okay. So, first thing, we will have class every week, not daily. Sundays, Saturdays, Sundays, 4 hours, or 3.5 hours to 3.5 hours. We can complete it in 4 months, 4.5 months. That responsibility. In the class, listen it attentively, listen with a lot of interest. I will tell many stories, hundreds or thousands of stories are there in the history about sociology and how to use social psychology, what people did to gain power. Simply we are here for power, right? Power is power. Okay, chalo. So, listen to the class, write notes. I will give you very short notes in the class. Write the notes and I will revise. Each word I will try to say it multiple times, and it is better that you also start saying those words. Okay. 70 to 60% of the learning should happen in the class itself. 2 days, just 2 days per week. Okay. Then I will give you some handouts, some material to read. After class, just read those material just like in a novel. Just read. If you listen to my class properly, then that reading will become very easy. If possible, again read it second time also, and if you want, you can make notes out of it, small notes, short notes. Then I will give you questions every week. Start writing those answers to those questions from day 1. I will correct those, I will personally speak with you how to write, what not to write. So, it is an improvement within 4 to 5 months. I don't think that I'll leave you after 5 months. I'll be there for entire 1 year. Okay. For 4 months I'll take classes, and whenever you want you can come to me, you can ask doubts, you can get clarifications. I'll be here every evening. Okay. So write questions. Then we will have some test series also. It's part of our sociology. Some test series. I'll correct the papers, and I'll give you how to write the answers. I'll give you many tips, what to write, what not to write. So this is how we are going to do. Class will be the important one. You have to write notes in the class, listen and use your mouth. That is the most important thing. How do we remember? When you were in LKG, when you were taught ABCD, but have you forgotten those ABCD now? Why? Simple. It is as simple as that. So listen, write and say. I will also repeat each author, each word 5 to 10 times. Repeat with me. They will go into your brain, and once you go home, read the notes, read the handouts twice or thrice, make short notes, try to repeat it, and if possible find a bakra and start teaching to him. This is called Feynman technique. Who is this Feynman? Is a physicist. He came up with a technique how to learn fast. The simple thing is, first read something, listen to something or read something, then start explaining it to a 10-year-old person. If you are able to explain the concept to a 10-year-old person, then you can explain it to anyone in the world. If you don't have time, no problem. Write, listen to class, write, read handouts, write question papers, test series and all, it's okay. But if you want to go further ahead, explain it to someone, then you will know what you have not understood properly, what you have understood properly, what you have not understood properly. The gap areas you can come across if you start explaining it to someone, or else explain to me. Then I can, because I know the subject, I can find out this is where the question is, then you will know that there is a gap in your understanding. That is how you should learn. Okay. It is all about, and the negative side or some disadvantageous portion is lot of, I am very frankly telling you what is the difficult part in sociology also. Easy part I have told you. Difficulty part is lot of authors, thinkers. You should not write whatever you wanted to write. You have to write what the others have said, because these people are very famous people. Karl Marx, who is this guy? Marxism, I said, which is the most quoted book in the world? Cited. Who is the most quoted author in the world? So if he is quoted that many times, he should be great. He should be great. So when you write answers, don't write your viewpoint. Write Karl Marx said this, or some other author like Weber. He said this on power. For example, if what is power, you will not say power is what you define. You say Karl Marx defined power as that. Weber defined power as that. You can, there is no rule that you have to completely agree with this guy. You can criticize him also. You can criticize this guy also in your answer. That leeway is given to us. But you have to remember these many minimum. You have to remember these names. I will repeat. Don't worry. I will do in that way that fixes in your brain. Don't worry about that. If I say 100 times Karl Marx, if you say 20 to 30 times Karl Marx, won't Karl Marx you remember him? We will try to discuss, in order to remember this guy, what we will do, we'll try to discuss his life also. Biography, autobiographies, we will go into that. What was he doing? You know, this guy died dog's death. He's such a great thinker now, such a great personality now, but he died like a dog. Very poor. He was very poor and he just died like that. So if I say some stories about that, at least you can remember those guys. So some 100 to 150 names you have to remember. These guys will keep on coming. There is another person called Parsons, Talcott Parsons. These are all the founders of sociology. Okay, so we have to remember those names. So 100 to 150 authors' names we have to remember. That is one difficult thing. It's not difficult thing. It can happen. It will happen. I will make you to happen. I will make it to happen. Then you have to remember nearly 100 books names. Karl Marx, what were the books written by him? Das Kapital, Communist Manifesto. Don't worry. These are the two difficult things. You have to remember authors, you have to remember books. If you can do this, it will happen. If you repeat along with me in the class, it will happen. You can remember. You are there. This is the only tough part. Thoda mug up karna padta hai. You have to mug up to some extent in the sociology, because remembering their names, remembering their books, remembering their quotes, 50 to 60 quotes will come. You have to remember those. And most of all, you should have an interest towards the subject. Okay. Recently, I was watching some UPSC toppers interview. Okay. There is a concept called alienation in sociology. What is alienation and all, I will tell you once we start the classes. Suppose morning 5 o'clock you are getting up, going to work, and you are returning to home at 10 o'clock. This cycle is repeating every day. Morning 5 o'clock you will get up, you will do all those things, and by 7 o'clock you will start to your office, and by the time you come to your home it is almost 9 or 10 o'clock. You will just have some supper and sleep. This is happening every day, 2 years, 3 years. What happens to you? You feel something is missing in your life. I am not living my life, right? I am missing something. Is this the life? These are the feelings which we get. Agreed? So this will happen to you in your UPSC journey. For next 1 year, 2 years, you will not go to functions. You will not attend weddings. You keep on reading for every day 5 to 6 hours, 8 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours. Now you will attend classes daily 6 to 8 hours. Now once the classes are over, now you have to start mugging up or reading all that information. So for next 1 or 2 years, what will happen to you? You become alienated. I felt that when I was preparing for this exam, because my sister go to marriage, my parents go to marriage, but I will stay in the room. I will keep on reading every day, morning reading, evening reading, afternoon reading, writing. So you feel that something is missing in your life. That is called alienation. That is bound to happen to you in UPSC journey. So there was a question on this alienation. Okay. What that topper wrote, for example, she wrote for alienation example, MS Dhoni. You know MS Dhoni? Who is he? Cricketer, Indian captain. You know, he also got government job once. How many of you watched that movie, Dhoni? He will become some TT. Okay. For few days he will do the job, but he will leave it. Why? Why did he leave the job? Government job. That is alienation. He is not loving what he is doing, TT job. He wants to do something, but he is doing something. He is not attached to that job, he is attached to something else. If you are not attached to your work, that is called, that is the example she gave. So you can give examples from your own life or newspapers or what is happening in the society. So again, next important point is examples. We will apply each example. I will give as many examples as possible. Write those examples, and in exam also you have to write those examples. For example, alienation, MS Dhoni example was given by one topper. You can give some other examples. Many examples are there in the life. Many personalities were there in the life. I'll give as many. Buddha, Gautama Buddha again. He was a king. He was born in a king's family. He was a prince. Everything was there to him. Every luxury that one can afford was there in his life, right? And his father got him married at the age of 16. Even that also came into his life. He gave birth to a son called, what is Buddha's son? Rahul was there. So he had everything in his life, but still, why did he leave the palace? Will you leave? You have everything in your life: power, money, good family, luxury, workers, cars, bungalows, everything you have. Will you leave the family? But Buddha did it. Why? He was having some questions in the mind and he wanted to answer those questions. He wanted to find out those answers. He was alienated. Though he was having everything, he is not attached to those. If someone is leaving everything, that means he is after something which gives him satisfaction. So he is alienated. So these type of examples we can give. For example, I have a good job. Don't write my example in the because nobody knows me, but I have a very good job. I am a Group 1 gazetted officer in a reputed, so-called very famous organization. Okay, but still, why I am coming here? You know, morning 10 o'clock, go to office. Evening 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, go to home, eat some food, spend some time with your wife and kids, sleep, again get up, come, go, come, go. This is happening. This was happening to my life. I somehow felt I am dying. I was having car, workers, everything, every power I have. I can go and meet even Ramcharan Tej also. I have met him. So morning I can go and meet Ramcharan Tej. In the evening I can go and have some rowdy sheeters. I have that luxury, but still something was missing. Then I did some soul searching. Everybody has to do that, soul searching. What you are good at, what you wanted in your life. Is it power, is it money, or is it anything else? That thing will happen to you. If not now, after 10 years it will happen to you. Okay. Then finally I realized that one day I went to some school. Okay. Just like that I took a class, 2 students. And after that class I felt very happy. And those children were also very happy because no teacher explained to them in that way. I don't know, I don't want to think about their happiness. I will think only about my happiness. Obviously, all of us are selfish. Agreed? Agreed? So I felt very happy. Then I realized that teaching is something I will enjoy, that will give me happiness. That's the reason I joined Ekam. Okay, you know the story. I met Oberoi sir on an official work. I went to him on an official work. Then he was reading some UPSC books. Then I asked him. Then something went up, and finally I came here just for the passion of it. I was getting alienated in my life. Life was becoming too monotonous. Going to office, coming back, going to office. There should be some excitement in the life. This is my excitement. That is the reason I keep coming here. Okay. These type of examples you can give in the exam. So one way to improve your answers, I'll give you many tips how to improve your answers. Simple examples. MS Dhoni example, enough, because everybody knows MS Dhoni in India. Okay, you can give that type of examples and increase your scores. Chota cheese, piece by piece. How this ants built, you know what is that? Pamula putta. Who builds that? How they build it? Piece by piece. Chota names, chota examples. You will get beautiful answers. I'll guarantee you. You will enjoy the subject. I'll give you brilliant examples from the world. How the Alexander, how Cleopatra had power. What was her power? Cleopatra? Who is Cleopatra? Egyptian queen. She dominated very famous kings. How did she dominate them? Beauty was her weapon. So, these type of examples, thousands of examples I can give you. Just keep writing 1 or 2 examples, keep producing in your questions. You will see your own improvement. You will see how the world is operating. You will come to know about it. Why KCR speaks the way he speaks. Why Modi doesn't speak to media. Everything is power. We will understand once we go through this subject. Okay. I will take 1 minute break. I am getting a call. Then we will start one beautiful topic. want to access the internet. Desktop, okay. Sense board, right. ఇది అక్కడే ఉంటుంది కదా, రైట్. చలో చలో, యా. Watch this.
Mockingbird. You created your own sigil, didn't you?
She is the queen.
Appropriate for a self-made man with so many songs to sing.
I'm glad you like it. Some people are fortunate enough to be born into the right family. Others have to find their own way.
Way.
I heard a song once about a boy of modest means.
He's criticizing him.
Found
She's
his way to
criticizing him,
a
okay.
very prominent family. He loved the eldest daughter. Sadly, she had eyes for another.
When boys and girls live in the same home, awkward situations can
Now he
arise.
started
Sometimes
criticizing her also.
even brothers and sisters
You will not
develop
understand, but
affections. And when those affections become common knowledge, well, that is an awkward situation. Indeed, especially in a prominent family. Prominent families often forget a simple truth.
simple truth
Found.
I found.
Which truth is that?
Which truth is that?
Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power. See what she does.
Seize him. Cut his throat. Stop. Wait. I've changed my mind. Let him go. Step back 3 paces.
What they are doing?
Turn around. Close your eyes. Power is power.
Power
Do see if you
is
can take
power.
some time away from your coins and your whores to locate the star one for me. I would very
So
much
Pareto says something, Weber says something, everybody says something, but ultimately power is power. If you are powerful, power. How do you reach it? It's up to you. One shortcut is UPSC. That is why you are here, right? Chalo. So don't worry about your material. We will give you concised notes which is made from some 7 to 8 textbooks. Don't worry about it. Okay, we will give you very shortly. It is under preparation, we will give you. Meanwhile, you can depend upon class notes. You have to write class notes. Okay, you have to write class notes, take notes. Then what will you do? Go home, revise it, just go through. Then we will give you handouts. Read those handouts just like a novel, one or twice. If possible, make notes out of it if you want. Then I will give you every week, I will give you questions. Write those questions and come back to me. I will correct those and give. You can see the improvement, week by week improvement, how you are writing. I will pinpoint where you are missed. It is all about writing. Mains is all about writing. Optional is all about writing. You know, everybody knows what teacher is teaching. It is easy to understand, but how you put it, that matters. Okay. Questions? Then there is test series. We will have test series. We will cover all the angles. And I will tell you how to write the answers, how to code the answers, how to write the examples. You see all these things, and most of all, enjoy the class. If you want, we can have that type of scenes also now and then. Okay. Then who has power? Now tell me, who has power? Who has power? Only IAS, IPS? Does journalist have power? Do film stars have power? Do Virat Kohlis have power? So there are some people who are, I said there is Pareto. He said that power is with few people and they are called as elites. Very good. You started picking up the words. That's all. That's all. Now, if, how do you criticize Pareto? Tell me. If there are only few people, we have AIMM party, AIMIM party, we have so many political parties, we have so many organizations, you have power with film stars, you have power with sports stars, everyone is powerful. Now, if you say that only few people have minority, then how many these people have come? So, you can criticize Pareto that power is not elite, power is plural. Can you say that? Power is there in different hands. CM has power, PM has power, IAS has power, IPS has power. So, many people have, even normal people has power. Do you think normal people have power? Etla? How? We can change every 5 years, simply we can change. We too have power. So, another group of thinkers come and they say that power is plural. So, they are also speaking truth. He is also speaking truth. Everybody is speaking truth. So, there is no need to for us to think. Just we remember Pareto, we will remember one thinker here, we will write the answer, we will get the marks. Very simple. Thousands of examples. For example, how many of you know who discovered America? Christopher Columbus. Columbus, there was a song also, Gene's movie. Okay, Christopher Columbus, right? Now, how did he discover America? In a ship. He went in a ship, he discovered a land, and that became America later. So, he could have been a very good captain. At least that is what we think. In reality, he doesn't know how to run a ship. We discovered America by ships only. He must have been a very good sailor. Then only he could have commanded the ship, right? But in reality, he doesn't know anything about ship. But America, the discovery of America is credited to Columbus. How did it happen? He is not good at handling ship. He doesn't know anything about ship. He is not a good captain. He doesn't know how to use compass also. But how did he manage to discover America? You know, he just convinced the king of Spain. Who gave him the ship? It was the king of Spain, because he was just a normal person. You need big ships, so you need kings. So, he went to king and he just convinced him that I am capable. It doesn't happen in one day or 2 days, it takes years. He doesn't have any background also. Columbus was from a normal family. But what he did, you know, he started creating stories that his father was from a big family, his mother was from a big family. He will go to one restaurant, he says a story there. He will go to another restaurant, he will say another story there. So, all these stories were circulating in the city, and people really believed that this guy is from royal family, though his father was a shoe keeper or something like that. But he created stories, and he was very charming, okay, very, very handsome, very charming. He used to interact with people, and that is how he met someone, then he met someone, then he met someone, and finally he went to king, and he convinced the king that I am the guy, I am your guy. So, king gave him the ships. Why should I know about sailing? I can hire someone who is good at sailing, right? What does Modi know about anything? Economy? What is he doing? He will hire some economist. He got money, he hired some good sailor, they discovered America. So, what is power? Now, here what is power? He became powerful because he doesn't know anything, but he was good at convincing. Is that not power? So if you ask Columbus what is power, what does he say? Power is power. He says that only. Power is power. Okay. So anyways, how many of you watched Oppenheimer? Okay. Anyways, we'll discuss later. Okay. So any doubts? Chalo. Any doubts? Is power interesting? So we'll deal about politics, we'll deal about religion, we'll deal about everything that we are doing in the society. Everything in the society. How much differences are there? For example, I'll give you. Go to New Delhi. What is New Delhi? Capital city of India. There is an area called GB Pant Road. Okay. This area is famous for prostitution. Okay. Now go into one of the, don't go, at least if you get into any one of the houses, they will have Lakshmi, Ganesha, Shiva, Vishnu, all these photos. But what are they doing? You are praying to God, but you are doing something else. Is this not somewhere proper, or do you feel it is proper? But it happens in India. It happens in India. We go to temples, but if you go to outside temples, there will be pigs, dogs. We go to temple for what? To speak with God, to make some deal with God. I clear, I will give you this, you give this me, I will give you this. So we all love God, we all fear God, we go to temple, but outside the temple, we are not worried about. Is it not somewhere conflicting? We care about God, we crack coconut, we give prasadam, we donate money to the God, but still we are not attached, or we are not happy with or unhappy with the things outside that. Many temples, you go to many temples, there will be pigs, donkeys, dogs roaming outside the temple, just outside the temple. Why is this happening in India? Why is this happening in India? Somewhere something is going wrong. Indian society? Yeah. Second paper, what is paper 1? It is about theory, basics. Now what is paper 2? Do you know that we have 2 papers in sociology? Yes. Paper 2 is about Indian society. Now in Indian society we will discuss with who we are. Why are we doing all these type of things? Why are we doing it? We will have a detailed explanation of it. Earlier people used to have big rice, doddu. Now you go to any family, they will eat very ultra thin rice. Why? Even in shops, government PDS, public distribution shops also, they are giving you that ultra thin rice only. Why is it happening? Do you think that small rice is good to health? Which is good? The thicker one is good to health. Thin rice is not good to health. But still people are doing it. Why? See, we operate like that. If someone is doing it, we will also do it. If some rich fellow is doing it, if some celebrity is doing it, we will also do it. So for example, now after once you clear the exam, you become an IAS officer. Yadadri temple, to look after Yadadri temple also there will be an IAS officer. Do you know? It comes under government only. Even TTD comes under government only. How will you make temple famous? As an IAS officer, what is your duty? More revenue. So how will you get more revenue? More devotees should come. How will more devotees come to your temple? What will you do? What will you do? Okay, you will provide facilities. Good attempt. మీరే ఐఏఎస్ ఆఫీసర్ అయ్యారు, ఏం చేస్తారు ఆలోచించండి. I provide facilities so that I will Ostara. I create all the facilities. Will the people come? Then you will start some. How? How will I make people believe in Yadadri temple? Simple thing. Appoint Vijay Devarakonda as ambassador. He will, before a movie starts or after a movie becomes a hit, he will come to that temple. He will do puja. What happens to the other who are watching this in the television? Vijay Devarakonda is coming to this temple. Now second day you make Modi to come to temple, or request Ambani to come to temple. If Ambani is coming to the temple, there must be something. If Ambani's wishes are being fulfilled by Lord Lakshmi Narasimha Swami, most probably my wish will also be granted. Is that not social psychology? Is that not sociology? Will that not be helpful for you once you become IAS IPS officers? Now after once you become IAS IPS officer, you are given excise department, let us say. Now what is your duty? Increase the sales of liquor in the state. This is what happening in Telangana. This is happening. Just go and check 3 days back newspaper. There was a heading, increase the sales. Now you are the in charge of that department. What will you say? No, I am a very honest officer. I will not deal with excise and all. Will you say that? No, you are not supposed to say that. When a CM or your chief secretary says, you have to do it. Now what will you, how will you increase? How will you increase the sales? Sociology will help you. Sociology will definitely help you. I don't want to give ideas now. I have so many ideas, but I will not give ideas. Okay. So this is how Indian society, what is happening, what is the main problem in Indian society? Any social challenges that you know of? Are there any challenges, social challenges or social issues in our society? మాట్లాడండి ఏంటి చెప్పండి ఏదైనా ఒకటి బైట్ సార్ మిత్తా myth. Is that you are saying?
Yes.
Again it will come under your religion chapter. Why is that a challenge issue? Ekkada meeku ela anpichindi issue ani?
People are grabbing and there is not a certain way. లేని దాన్ని కూడా ఉన్నట్టు క్రియేట్ చేసి they are doing
Something. So now why is it happening in Indian society? Not in US or not in UK?
People believe easily.
Why do we believe easily?
Attractive. Attractive.
Okay. Why are we getting attracted? Why are we believing it easily? Go to the root of the problem. That
Some others do.
yeah, to some extent, to some others do. Because I will tell you one good example from Telangana only. There is Samakka Sarakka Jatara. Medaram. It is the largest tribal festival in the world. Around 1.5 crore to 2 crore people congregate, I mean converge there for 2 or 3 days, and they will destroy the environment there. How many of you have been there? No one. Heard of it? Yes. It is the largest tribal festival in the world. Now who are Samakka and Sarakka? Tell me. They are two sisters or mother and daughter. We don't know. It is mother and daughter. Why did they become gods? They fought for the tribals. Okay. With whom? They fought for the tribals, agreed, with Kakatiya rulers. Kakatiya rulers had said you should pay the rent, taxes. Now these people think forest is ours, we will not pay the rent. This is what these people said. Then obviously once you become IPS, for example, once you become an IAS officer or IPS officer, some don had come up in your area. Bhai, Daud Bhai, you know Daud Bhai? Some Bhai has come up, okay, Srinath Bhai, okay. So he is not listening to police, he is challenging your authority. Who is district collector? My foot, ask him to come to me. He is giving a statement in the YouTube. What will you do as a district SP or as a collector? What will you do? What will you do? He is directly challenging your authority. He is directly challenging the government's authority. What will you do? Let him challenge. Bad people are there, let him challenge. Let him go his way, I will go my own way. Is that something that you will do? What will you do? మీరే ఒక జిల్లా కలెక్టర్, you are the district collector and someone is challenging your authority. He says no police should come into this area, into this colony. If some police constable is coming, they are killing him or they are beating him. What will you do? చెప్పండి. Nothing. This is not for examination, right? Why are you thinking so hard? ఏం చేస్తారు? ఏం చేస్తారు? What will you do? Will you try to nab him or you will leave him? So how will you try to nab him? Pushpa, watched? All of you watched Pushpa? There is one Banwar Singh Shekhawat, the IPS officer comes in the last stage of the movie. This fellow comes, Pushpa comes and gives him money. The reason why I am giving you examples is you need to understand the politics, power politics, tactics. He offers money. He will count it and say that ఒకటి తగ్గింది. Then again these people will count and say, no sir, it is fine. No, ఒకటి తగ్గింది, ఒకటి తగ్గింది. And what is that ఒకటి తగ్గింది? Respect. It was a well shot scene because IPS officer will have that in him. A local gunda who has become powerful, if he comes and sits with you as an equal, will you accept it? You won't accept it because you will be trained for 2 years where you will be made to believe that you are the best in the world. ఒకసారి ఎగ్జామ్ క్లియర్ చేసిన తర్వాత you will undergo for 2 years training and that training is one of the best trainings in the world and you will feel so much confidence. And if a local gangster comes to you and speaks to you as an equal, will you accept it? So when a local gunda is challenging your authority, what will you do? You will use all your knowledge to, that is how sociology comes into picture. So sociology will be useful to become a better administrator also because you understand the people, why that person had become a don, what are his strengths. Biggest issue in India is caste politics, Kamma, Kapu, Reddy. Why this is happening in India? You will read in paper 2. What else is happening in India? Equality, gender equality, we will read in sociology. Feminism, what is feminism? You will see what is feminism in, so again, what else? Any topic you get in sociology. We will try to understand entire scope of subject. You will come across any problem. Now, if you go through newspapers, there will be articles. We will attach those articles to our answers also. Examples we will write in our answers. Newspaper articles, I will tell you, today an article has come in Indian Express or Hindu, read this article, make a note of it. Try to produce that article or summary of that article into the examination. You will get marks, good marks. Many examples will come, many interesting examples will come. Try to remember those examples. The only tough part is remembering the names of authors and books. That I think 100 names is not a big thing. You are compared to GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4, it's not a big thing. 100 authors and 100 books. I will repeat it, you will also repeat it. That's all. Okay. Any doubts? Sociology gurinchi inkemayna doubts unte adagandi. We will have. Are you finding it interesting? If it is interesting, you should follow it. Listen to other classes also, PubAd, Anthro. Come to a conclusion. Come to a conclusion, because I should not fool you because I am the best or this subject is the best. Every subject has its own advantages and disadvantages, but advantage with this is easy to understand, easy to revise. Just remembering few names. Okay.